all our gurus in our disciplic succession and asking for their blessings and mercy. Okay. So, but I won't do the whole Jayadwani because that will take too long, but very short. Okay. Jai Shi Guru Gauranga Gandharva Giridhari Shiva Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupada Stotra Sata Shishi Ma Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nityalispada Stotra Sata Shishi Ma Bhaktivedanta Shilavaman Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nityalispada Stotra Sata Shishi Ma Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nityalispada Stotra Sata Shishi Ma Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nityalispada Stotra Sata Shishla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Rupanuga Gurvaga Ki Jai. Shri Sat Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Tattva Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Harinama Sankirtana Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Samagata Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bo. Okay, ready?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Oh.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Nitai Gaura Haribol, Nitai Gaura Haribol, Nitai Gaura Haribol, Nitai Gaura Haribol, Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Haribol.
Sorry, I was on mute. Thank you so much, Radhika Didi. That was so very beautiful, very sweet. Thank you. So I don't know if you're going to be around later, but yeah, if we want to have more kirtan, I might call on you. Okay, thank you, Didi. Okay. So I'll just say my pranam mantras before I begin. Om Gina Tamandasha Gananjana Salakaya Chaksham Litam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyapane Shishima Bhaktivedanta Naraya Nitinamane Vanchakalpadrubhyascha Kripasinnabevacha Patitanam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Gove Gochandraya Vatikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaye Tad Bhaktaye Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasari Shivo Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So before I begin, I'd like to offer my humble, most respectful obeisances, my heart like flowers, time and time again, at the dust of the lotus feet of my Gurudev, on Vishnupada Sutta Shishima Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And at the same time, I offer my humble, most respectful obeisances unto my Param Gurudevs, Nityalila Vishnu Vishnupad, Astotara Shishima Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, and Nityalila Vishnu Vishnupad, Astotara Shishima Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj. So, and I also offer my humble, most respectful obeisances unto all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, all devotees who are attending today. Please accept my humble Dandavat pranams. Okay, so welcome everyone. Can everyone see me okay? Is it okay now? Yeah. Okay. So very happy to see you all today. Thank you for joining. And I would like to begin by just explaining what this course is about, giving a little introduction. Well, first of all, I had the idea to start this course because I was remembering that many years ago, I think like almost 30 years ago, I was taking part in what's called a Bhakta or Bhaktina course, which is a course for devotees, people who are just starting out on this path of bhakti. And in the course, we learned about Bhakti Tattva, all the tenets of the truths or the principles of bhakti. And we also learned about Vaisnava Etiquette. So that means how to follow all the correct procedures on this path of bhakti. There are many things that we are encouraged to do, and there are many things we are encouraged to avoid. So it may seem very overwhelming when we first take up this process, this path of bhakti, like what we're supposed to do, what we're not supposed to do, like this. So in the beginning, I was thinking it would be good to explain something about Bhakti Tattva itself. And maybe the first few sessions of this course, we can go on with that. And then at some point, we'll have some very practical teachings, like maybe one about bhajans and kirtan itself. Maybe Radhika Didi can help with that. Madhukar Prabhu and others very good with that. And there's other things that might be very good to go over about cleanliness and how to follow, all the kind of kitchen rules or like this, many things we can cover in this course, but I welcome all suggestions. Anyway, we should get on with today. First of all, I want to introduce Kunamayi Didi, Krishna Priya Didi. You can put up your hand, give a little way, okay. And Janardhan Prabhu, who've kindly helped so much put this course together. And so I'll be calling on Kunamayi Didi from time to time. She will be asking you questions about what we've learned so far. So it's good if you can be very attentive. Try not to be too distracted if possible. And I'll go through it slowly, step by step. If there's anything you don't understand, you can always, write in the chat if you want me to repeat something or you're not quite sure about something. But there is also a link. Karuna, you've put a link, isn't it, in the chat, that if anyone has any general questions, we can address them at the end, if that's okay, because it might be a little distracting throughout. But Karuna Didi will be doing like a quiz from time to time. So anyone's free to answer questions. And if you can kindly turn your video on, if you want to answer the question and put your hand up. Or is that how we're doing it? I don't know. Yeah, okay. And Janardhan Prabhu will let the person know if they got the answer right with the ding. Yes, we can't hear it, Janardhan Prabhu. Are you on mute? Yay, okay. That means right answer, correct. And the wrong answer is? Okay. All right, so that's quite clear. All right, so we can begin. Yeah, so if you'd like to share the screen, Krishna Priya Didi. Okay, great.
Okay, looks like it's just loading here. 1 second.
So I'm going to start off very basic. So, don't worry if you think, oh, I know all this already. I've heard it so many times. It's going to be very, very basic in the beginning, but it will gradually build up and get a little more, difficult maybe. Not difficult, but little more technical, with some Sanskrit terminology. Maybe you've heard of the Sanskrit terms before, maybe you haven't, but everything will be explained with the English translation, definition like that. Okay, are we ready to go? Good. So welcome to the Bhakti Basics course, everyone. And we can go to the next slide, please. Okay, so just as an introduction, just to get an understanding for those who are completely new, there may be some here who are completely new. If you want to write in the chat, yes, I'm completely new to this process. It's good to also know how many are here that don't have so much idea. Janardhan Prabhu saying I'm new. Yeah. So what's the meaning of bhakti yoga? As you can see, bhakti means love and devotion. And yoga means to connect or to link. That's the actual meaning of yoga. Now, in today's society, there's many people who practice bhakti yoga. Not bhakti yoga, I meant to say hatha yoga. Many people who practice hatha yoga. And especially in the West, they do all these exercises. But actually, we should know that originally, the yogis who used to practice all this pranayam, the breathing techniques, and the different asanas, the different postures, why did they do that? Actually, they did that so that they could link or connect with who? With the super soul, Paramatma. Paramatma means super soul, the form of God that's within each and every living entity. Or we can say to connect with the Supreme Lord. So Bhakti Yoga means to connect our soul to Krishna through love and devotion. And what is sadhana? Sadhana means the spiritual practice or practices to attain the goal of life. So, like, for example, we chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. We've just heard Radhika Didi chanting. She was singing, and we can also chant on our prayer beads, Japamala, it's called. So this is a spiritual practice to attain the goal of life. The goal of life is love of God. So Bhakti Yoga is the process to awaken the soul's dormant love for God. That love for God is within our hearts or souls, but it's covered by so much ignorance and illusion. And this process of sadhana bhakti is to uncover what is already there. That pure love and devotion for Krishna is there within the heart, but covered by so many layers of ignorance over so many lives of being in this material world, going through what's called samsara, the cycle of birth and death. So we can move on to the next slide, please, Krishna Praditi. Okay, so this is the explanation of Sanatan Dharma. What is Sanatan Dharma? Sanatan means eternal, and Dharma means the intrinsic nature or function of a vastu. Vastu means object. So every object has a svabhav. Svabhav means true nature, an intrinsic nature. But that object may take on what's called nishag. Nishag means acquired nature. So, for example, we take an object like water. So we can first ask the question, what is the dharma or nitya dharma, eternal nature of water? What is it? It's liquidity. Water is always liquid. Well, not always. We see the eternal nature of water is liquid. And then what is the dharma of fire? The dharma of fire is heat, light. And what is the dharma of sugar? The dharma of sugar is sweetness. So in the same way, we can understand what is the dharma of the soul, of our souls. We're not this material body, we're eternal spirit souls. What is our dharma? What is our Sanatan Dharma? It is to love and serve God. Yes. Okay. So, but there's a process to understand God. There's a process to love God. So let me explain. One time in India, there's one king, and he desired to see God. So he approached his minister. He called for his minister, and he said, you know, I want to see God. Can you show me God? Can you tell me what God is doing? And this minister, he was highly learned, but he couldn't immediately give an answer. He was thinking, you know what? I don't know. So he said to the king, he said, look, I cannot give you an immediate answer, but you please just give me 3 days, and then I will definitely give you a suitable reply. So the king, he wasn't so happy, but he said, okay, I agree. But if you don't give me a suitable answer in 3 days, then I won't be happy at all. And it will certainly diminish my respect, my regard for you. And I may have to even dismiss you. So the minister, he was getting worried, but he said, no, it's okay. I will come up with an answer, don't worry. So then he left and he went to his home, and then he went immediately to his library and he was looking through all the books, and he was thinking, oh, I must find this answer. He was looking through all the scriptures, so many scriptures, and he spent the next 2 days looking and looking, searching for an answer desperately. But he could not find any answer. He was thinking, oh, what to do. And he started to lament, and he was thinking, oh no, what can I do? Then his son came and he said, oh, my dear father, what is the matter? Why are you lamenting so much? Please tell me. Then he said, oh, my dear son, it's okay. It's just that I was thinking about something, but you don't need to worry, it's okay. But the boy said, no, please tell me, what's the problem? So then he said, oh, okay, well, it's just that the king, he's asked a question of me and I just don't know the answer. So then the boy said, well, what is the question? No, son, you don't need to worry. You won't be able to understand. So then the boy said, no, please tell me. I kept asking again and again, please tell me. The father, the minister, he said, okay, it's just the king. He wants to know, he wants to be able to see God, like me to show him God somehow, and he wants to know what God's doing. The boy said, oh, well, okay, well, that's simple. The minister said, simple? What do you mean simple? I just can't find the answer anywhere. I've been searching and searching. How is it simple? Boy said, oh, look, it's very simple. Where you just go to the king and you say that it's so simple that even my young son can give this answer. And don't worry, Dad, I won't let you down. So then father, he was thinking, well, I'm supposed to like rely on my little 5-year-old son, but okay, I don't have much choice what to do. So then the next morning they went, brought his son along. The king welcomed him and, yes, you've got an answer for me. What is it? So then the minister, he said, oh, yes, the answer to this question is so simple that even my young son can give this answer. The king said, really? Well, okay, well, let's ask him then. Oh, my dear boy, so can you show me God? I want to see God, and what is God doing now? So the boy said, okay, this is very simple. You just bring me a pot of milk. So the king said, okay, pot of milk. He asked one of his servants, they brought a pot of milk. And the boy said, well, can you show me butter in this milk? And then the king said, well, yeah. No, he said, first of all, he said, is there butter in this milk? The king said, yes, of course, there's butter in the milk. He said, well, can you show me? Well, it's not like that. First of all, the king said you have to churn the milk and then the butter will come. So then the boy said, exactly. Just like there's a process to get butter from milk. You churn the milk and then the butter comes. So in the same way, there's a process to see God. What is that process? It is that we practice bhakti, love and devotion to God. And by this process of bhakti, then we can certainly get to see God. And the king was very satisfied by this answer. He said, very good, very good. And what is God doing? And the boy said, well, you're asking me like a student to a guru, but you're sitting on a high throne and I'm sitting down on the ground. So then I think we need to swap places. I should sit on the high seat and you on the low seat. So the king said, okay, very well. So then he got down from his high throne. The boy got up on that throne and king was sitting on the ground, eagerly waiting for the answer. The boy said, you see, this is what God is doing. Just like before I was sitting on the ground and you were sitting on the high throne. Now I'm sitting on the high throne, you're sitting on the ground. So this is life. Sometimes we take a higher birth and we're like a king or we go to the higher planets. Sometimes we take a lower birth and we may be born in some poverty-stricken circumstance or some very, very underprivileged circumstance. So this is according to our karma, the activities we've done in our previous lives, like this. So the boy was explaining like this to the king. The king was so happy to hear the answer. He said, this is very good, excellent. I will reward you handsomely. And he gave so many very valuable gifts to the minister and his son and spread this knowledge throughout his kingdom. So this story explains that many people say, oh, there's no God, or show me God, I don't believe in God. But there's a process to understand God. And the process to understand God and develop love for God is bhakti yoga. So we can go on to the next slide, please. Krishna Priya. Okay, so now I hope everyone's been taking note. And Karuna Mayudidi, she's going to ask you some questions about what we've just learned, hopefully. What we'll do, we'll give you an opportunity, if you can just go back to the previous screens, first on Bhakti Yoga, okay, and just have a little look, the explanation of Bhakti Yoga, and then we can move on to the explanation of Sanatan Dharma again. Okay, so there's some Sanskrit terms, maybe you've heard of, maybe you haven't, but just take note. Okay, now we can go to the next screen. Okay, so Kunamaini.
Okay, so I'll be asking, we have 3 questions. If you have the right answer or you'd like to answer, please go on video and raise your hand, and Janardhan will be letting you know if you got the answer right. So the first question is, what is the meaning of bhakti? What is the meaning of yoga? And what is the meaning of bhakti yoga?
Real quick, can Krishna Priya stop sharing the screen so we can see everybody?
Oh, yes.
And Krishna Priya, can you make her co-host, Karuna Mai?
Okay, so the question again was, what is the meaning of bhakti? What is the meaning of yoga? What is the meaning of bhakti yoga? And if you'd like to answer, please raise your hand, and Janardhan Prabhu will select you to answer.
I don't see any hands.
I don't see any hands.
Would anybody like to answer? Or you can say in the chat as well if you'd like to answer.
I see one.
Oh.
Okay, So bhakti is devotion or devotional service to God, and yoga is union or to link, I think you said, to connect. So bhakti yoga is a practice for your devotional service to link with God, to connect with the Lord.
Very good. Very good. Manini Radha Didi Jai. Nice.
Yay.
Thank you to my
Very
Guru
good.
Dave.
Excellent. Thank you so much. The next question is, what is the meaning of Sanatan? What is the meaning of Dharma? And what is the meaning of Sanatan Dharma? Would anybody like to answer that one? And you can either raise your hand on video or you can say in the chat if you'd like to answer.
I only see one hand.
Perfect. That's all we need.
She's going for round 2. For
I guess
extra.
I'll try. So I know
It's good. It's good.
Sanatan means eternal, and Dharma is like the intrinsic function or nature of something. So is that was the question, right? Those two?
Yeah.
But
Okay.
then what is it together? What is it together? Sanatan Dharma.
And Sanatan Dharma is our true eternal function, our true nature.
Right.
It's sinking in. It's sinking in.
Great. And there's one more question. What is the Dharma of the soul? But I think you kind of answered that already.
Oh, we got another one. You're ready.
Dharma of the soul is to serve and love God.
Yes.
Is that
Love and serve God. Very nice. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you, okay. So is that all the questions then, Kunamaya Didi? Okay, great. Let's go on to the next slide. Thank you very much, everyone. Krishna Priya Didi.
Oh, we didn't tell them what they're going to win when they get the questions right.
Oh. What do you think?
I think we
well,
should.
if I had some chocolates, I would give you. But you'll have to make do. I'll pray for blessings to come your way. How's that?
Oh, that's even better.
Okay. So Vedas, the Vedas. So Veda means knowledge, but not just ordinary knowledge. It's perfect knowledge. The Vedas are very, very ancient scriptures that are eternal. They're sometimes manifest and sometimes unmanifest in this world, but they are eternal. So let's go to the next slide. Okay. But you may ask, what is the origin of the Vedas? So the Lord originally imparted the Vedas into the heart of Brahma, Lord Brahma, who's the creator. And Lord Brahma, he imparted the knowledge to Narad, who imparted the knowledge to Vyasadeva. So the Vedas, they are apurusheya. What does apurusheya mean? It means that it's not imparted by any created being, because they are imparted by God himself, who of course is not created. So he's the origin of all. So svata siddha gyan. This means that the Vedas are svata siddha gyan. Svata means own or self. So self manifest. Siddha means perfect. So it means self manifest, inherent, pure and perfect knowledge. So this knowledge is there within the heart, you can even say, but covered And it's passed down originally from the Lord to Brahma, to Narada Vyas, like this. So this is very different to Indriya Paratantra Gyan. What does Indriya Paratantra Gyan mean? That means knowledge that depends on the senses. So Indriya means senses, and Paratantra means to depend on, and not Gyan is knowledge. So that knowledge that depends on the senses, and which in this material world, this is the kind of knowledge we find in most of the books. If you go in libraries, we see so many books on science and all these things. So this is all Indriya Paratantra Gyan. So the Vedas, it's always faultless. You cannot find any imperfection in the Vedas. So it's fully dependable as Praman. Praman means evidence. So there's so many other types of Praman, evidence, that are not dependable at all, which we'll go on to later. But we can definitely say that the Vedas are fully dependable. And there are 4 Vedas. So there's the Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Samaveda, and Atharva Veda. Now, you may say, well, I would like to read all the 4 Vedas, and of course, anyone is welcome to do that. However, that may take a long time. The Vedas are vast volumes of knowledge. They contain all material and spiritual knowledge within them. But our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, we're very grateful to him. We're internally indebted to him. Why? Because he has given us the translation or translations of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the essence of the Vedas. That's in 12 cantos, 12 volumes. And also Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, which was spoken by Krishna to Arjuna just over 5,000 years ago. This is also contains the essence of the Vedas. So much knowledge there about the different types of yoga practice, karma yoga, jnana yoga, and bhakti yoga. And of course, bhakti yoga is the essence of all. So I was going to tell one story in relation to this. One time, our Param Guru, that's Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj, my guru's guru, he was traveling on a train and he was approached by one man. He was the railway magistrate. He came with a few soldiers and he was very curious when he saw Param Gurudev, and he started to ask him questions. One of the questions he asked was, what is the aim of your organization? And then Param Gurudev, he said, oh, we preach Sanatan Dharma everywhere, but specifically the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he explained something about bhakti-yoga. Then this magistrate, he said, oh, well, okay, you're telling me about bhakti, but what is this bhakti? So then Param Gurudev explained that he explained just what we were explaining before. What's the meaning of bhakti, devotion to God, all these things. And then this district magistrate, he said, well, okay, well, you believe in God, but actually I don't believe in God. And he said, I only believe in what I can see before my very eyes. So then Gurudev, he said, okay, but there's many things that you cannot see directly with your eyes, but you believe in them. And Magistrate, you said, oh, really? Like what? Well, Pangude said, for instance, do you know who your father is? Is your mother and father still alive? He said, yes, yes, they're still alive. And yes, of course, I know who my father is. And Pangude said, so then how do you know who your father is? How can you genuinely know for sure who your father is? And he said, well, my mother can tell, of course. So Pangude says, exactly. So you have faith in the words of your mother. She has told you who your father is. But how do you know for sure? Were you there at the time of your conception? This man, he became kind of a little embarrassed. He said, well, no, and I wasn't at the time, of course. So then Pangude said, okay, you see, this knowledge you've accepted from your mother. So in the same way that you have faith in the words of your mother, the Vedas are like our mother, and we can certainly have faith in the words of our mother, that we can fully depend on the words of the Vedas. They are not ordinary. They are coming directly from God himself. God is the Supreme Lord. He's the supreme cause of all causes. So we can certainly have faith in his words. Just like you have faith in the words of your mother. But the Vedas are more than your mother, far more reliable. So the magistrate, he said, oh, thank you so much. You've really opened my eyes today. Now I'm understanding. So like this, we can certainly have faith in the Vedas. And we'll go on to the next slide. Oh, questions and answers. Okay. So again, we'll see what you can remember. If it will just refresh just a little bit. Okay, what's the meaning of Veda? Veda means knowledge, perfect knowledge. Vedic literatures are eternal. And next. Okay, what is the origin of the Vedas? See what you can remember. That the Vedas are apurusheya, not imparted by any created being. Svata Siddha Gyan, self-manifest, inherent, pure and perfect knowledge. And always faultless, you cannot find any mistake, the perfect Praman. See if anyone can remember what the four Vedas are, the essence of the Vedas, like this. Okay, so now we take away the screen. Okay.
So the first question, and if you'd like to answer, please raise your hand, or you can let us know in the chat, and then you can answer the question on video. That would be great, or audio if you prefer. What is the meaning of the word Veda?
I see a hand.
Radhe Radhe.
Yes. Okay.
Veda, Veda means knowledge.
Yes. What kind of knowledge? To Krishna Prabhu.
Is eternal knowledge about Krishna and the whole. It's about eternal knowledge for how to live life properly.
Mm-hmm. But is the knowledge perfect or imperfect?
It's perfect.
Yeah, very good. Mm-hmm.
Yay, great.
Very nice, thank you.
Thank you. And the next question is, what is the origin of the Vedas? And if you would like to answer, please raise your hand. I know Tarun Krishna, you had your hand raised. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, he does.
The other
Okay.
Tarun, the other Tarun Krishna. Yes.
Yeah, Tarun Krishna.
Wait,
Please go
wait,
ahead.
me?
Yes.
Okay, is it so they're not manifested by, they're self-manifested, so they're not manifested by any created being. Is that correct?
That would be half answered, I would say. Is
Yes.
there a little
There's
more?
a bit more. There's a little bit more to that.
Maybe
The
you
origin.
can share with us the origin. Char.
The origin? The origin is the Supreme Lord himself.
There you go.
He imparted to Lord Brahma. Okay.
Lord Brahma. The
Mhm.
next question is, what are the qualities that distinguish the Vedas from other books?
Who would like to answer? Radhika Sharma raised hand. It's Radhika
Yeah, but
Sharma.
is that
Oh, Radhika Sharma, please go ahead.
I asked to unmute, but she didn't respond. Oh,
Oh.
there she is.
And for the previous question, when it was asked whether, I mean, from where the Vedas originated, so I wanted to say Krishna, so I just typed it. But regarding this question, which says what distinguish the difference between Vedas and other scriptures, I think Vedas do not clearly say that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead and we should just serve him. That is why Ved Vyasadev got puzzled or confused, and he wanted to speak to his Gurudev, Narad Muni, and then he instructed him to write Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam clearly says Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and one should give their life and soul to only serve to serve Krishna and his pure devotees, which Vedas might not say clearly. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's a very good answer. That was more than we asked for. That was a very, very nice purport. Thank you so much, Radhika Sharma. Didi. Thank you. Very nice. Mm-hmm.
I think that deserves a bow.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, great.
Okay. And did anyone remember anything else? This term, there was one Sanskrit term that I used to describe Aprushaya. That's correct, definitely. That Tarun Krishna Prabhu mentioned that. That's not imparted by any created being. 2 participants raised their hand. Okay, so who wants to answer?
Radhika Sharma, your hand's still up. Would you like to answer?
Oh, should I unmute her?
Sure. Or Char.
I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, Manini Radhe, would you like to answer?
I was going to say there was you talked about knowledge that's imperfect, that we get through our senses.
Yes, that's
Indriya,
cool. Can you remember?
Indriya Paratantra? Is that
yes,
right?
very well done. Indriya Paratantra Gyan. Yes. As opposed to what is
as opposed to the Vedas, which are self-manifest and direct. I think of it as a direct transmission from the Lord. What is it? Aparoseya? I guess it's as opposed to that. I'm not sure. Okay.
Yeah. Self-manifest, inherent, pure, and perfect knowledge.
Yes.
Wonderful. And we have 2 more questions on the Vedas. What are the 4 Vedas? Can anyone remember them? Or one of them?
One or 2 or 3 or 4. Rudra Gupta.
Oh, Rudra Gupta, please go ahead.
This is...
You're unmuted. If you'd like to go ahead, you can answer, Rudra.
Samved, Rigved, Yajurved, and Atharvaved.
Yay, very good. Very well done.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And there's one more question. Which books contain the essence of the Vedas? Charu Chandrika Devi, would you like to answer? Unmute you here. Oh, we can't hear you. You're still on mute.
Okay. Yeah, the Srimad Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Okay. Very good, everyone. Thank you for all your answers. Should we go on to the next slide? Okay. So now we're going to explain Avaroha Pant, which means descending knowledge, as opposed to Aroha Pant, which is ascending knowledge. That will come next. So first, Avaroha Pant. What is that? Sruti. Sruti means oral reception. So the Shrutis are those books that are recorded from that which is being heard and received by submissive oral reception. Okay? So these Shrutis have been recorded and passed down from guru to disciple. So this is called Guru Parampara. Can someone unmute there? Okay. So Guru Parampara, which means the disciplic succession. So this is beginning from the Supreme Lord. He's giving to Lord Brahma, I said before, then Narad and Vyas, and so on. Vyas spoke this Srimad Bhagavatam, for example, to Sukadev Goswami, and like this. So Sabda Brahma, what is the meaning of Sabda Brahma? Shabda means sound and Brahma means transcendental. So that transcendental sound vibration, or you could say revealed knowledge. So this is descending, it's coming down. So mostly, I mentioned before, that if we go to libraries, we'll find so many hundreds and thousands of books that are all knowledge, but it's mostly material knowledge that is certainly not revealed knowledge. It's just in the realm of Aroha Pant. That means ascending knowledge that we can understand for our mind and senses, like this. So Sabda Pramana. Shabda means sound vibration again, and Pramana, evidence. So, and we know Shastra means scriptures. So those scriptures that are bona fide, that are authentic, authorized. This is like the Vedic statements, which are authoritative scriptural evidence, and they've been revealed through sound. Actually, before, these transcendentalists, they used to hear this knowledge, and they were so realized that they would hear once and would remember without even having to write it down. Can you imagine? They would just hear, remember completely for the rest of their lives. So that's how pure they were. But nowadays, not so easy to find any transcendentalists like that. But there are some pure devotees. So we can go on to the next slide. Aroha Pant. So Aroha Pant, like I said, it means ascending knowledge. And this means, okay, I shall understand what is God by my own meditation or speculation. I don't care for any authority or any books. I know best. I've heard that so many times. I can understand, you know. I'm realized, like this, like his people say. So Aroha Pant, an example also. There's a story. Srila Prabhupada used to tell this story. One time in India, there was a group of blind men, and they came across a big elephant. And then they felt the trunk of the elephant and they thought, oh, what is this? One of them, they were feeling, I think this is like a huge, big snake. And then another blind man, he came across the one leg of the elephant and he was, oh, this is very big. It's like a big pillar. And then he came across the ear of the elephant and he thought, oh, this is like a big fan. And then he came across the tail of the elephant. Oh, this feels like a rope. And then the other blind man, he came across the belly and he said, this is just like a big boat. So like this, all the blind men, they were feeling different parts of the elephant and they were thinking, yes, this is it. This is a big boat, or this is it. This is a snake. This is it. This is a rope, But actually, they weren't really understanding what is this elephant. They couldn't get the whole picture. They couldn't see. So in the same way, in this material world, many people are blind to the truth. They cannot see, they cannot understand by the ordinary material mind and senses. How can we understand the absolute truth? It is impossible. We cannot. We can speculate. We can try to get some ideas. Even great philosophers of past ages, they've come up with some little parts of the truth, maybe, or some have even speculated and not even touched upon the truth, really. So that's why we have to rely on Avaroha Pant, descending knowledge. Okay, so next slide, please.
Okay, so we have questions on these two subjects. The first question is, what is Avaroha Pant? And we'll have to hide the slides so that we can see who would like to
Just refresh we'll just refresh them for a minute, maybe. Just go back, if you don't mind. Yeah, you can have a quick look. Try to remember as much as you can. Okay, and then next slide. Aroha Pant. Okay, so questions on these now.
Okay. So again, the first question is, what is Avaroha Pant? Oh, we'll go, Tarun Krishna, please go ahead and unmute yourself.
Are you going to do where you ask them to unmute?
Oh, you can.
No, you do. It's easier, then I can get the bell more.
Okay, all right, then I will. Okay.
Me? Oh, my hand was raised. Okay.
Yes, your hand.
I guess I'm going to have to try and answer this question now. Oh no, was it Aroha or Avaroha?
Avaroha.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I've got a 50% chance that I'm going to get this right. Was it 50% chance I'm going to get Charu Chandrika's blessings? Was it descending knowledge?
Yes.
Yes, it was. Okay, it's descending knowledge. So it's knowledge that comes through the disciplic succession, that comes from the Shastra that's manifested by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna Bhagavan, and the realized knowledge imparted by the Shuddha Bhaktas, the pure devotees of the Lord.
Wonderful.
Very good. Very well done.
Thank you. Okay, the next question then is, what is Aroha Pantha? Manini.
So that would be the us sending knowledge, the speculative sort of knowledge that comes from us, where, you know, based on our limited angle of vision, we think we have truth, but it may not be full, or it's certainly not perfect.
Yeah, that's correct.
Wonderful.
Yes. There's one thing that was missed out from the Avaroha pant. If someone wants to explain what is sruti, what is Sabda Brahma, and what is Sabda Pramana. Manini, did he's got a hand raised? Do you want to try again?
I'm gonna try, because I really am trying to learn. Okay, shruti is that which is heard, right, through the Guru Parampara, through the oral I don't know, passing down through that
oral reception. Oral
reception and through disciplic succession. And Sabda Brahman is transcendental sound. It's I know that Sabda is sound, right?
Sabda is sound, and Brahma is transcendental.
Yes.
So transcendental sound, you're correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Transcendental sound vibration.
Vibration, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And Sabda Pramana, that would be the last part.
That would be transcendental evidence, or evidence by that.
Yes.
Pramana is evidence, I know.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And that's it for our questions on both of those subjects.
Okay, so next slide.
So I guess we can go on to
Okay, now it's going to get a little more tricky. Okay, so there are 10 types of Praman evidence. So most of these are what? Aroha or Avaroha? What would you say? Aroha pant or Avaroha pant? Most of these. Okay. Some are Avaroha, but most are Aroha pant. So we'll start with pratyaksa, means direct perception. Anumana means, ooh, no, go back, please. Anumana means inference based on generalized experience. Arsa means the statements of the sages. Upamana, analogy or comparison. Arthapatti means presumption or inference from circumstances. Above means proof by absence or understanding by its non-perception. Sambhav means probability or speculation. Aicha means hearsay or traditional instruction. Chesta is gesturing. Shabda, which is what we've just discussed, is revealed knowledge. So these are the 10 types of Praman, and there may be many more, but they're all different types of evidence that we as human beings, we use maybe even on a daily basis. Many people, they have, use sambhav, they speculate, they use probability. Many use upamana, analogy. They think, oh, if this is like this must be like this. So anyway, I'm going to explain them one by one. So we'll get a little more idea of each one. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so pratyaksa, direct perception. So this is direct perception or information received through the 5 knowledge acquiring senses. So what are the 5 knowledge acquiring senses? They are the eyes, the ears, the nose, the tongue, and the skin. We see through our eyes what we see through our eyes. We think, yes, that is definitely there. Or we hear something through our ears. Yes, I am hearing. Or what we smell for our nose. Yes, I can smell. It must be roses that I'm smelling. Or tongue, we taste. Yes, I know what this is. And skin, if we have a touch of something, then yes. So we perceive through our five senses, and we understand the world through these five senses. But this pratyaksa is not completely dependable. Why? Because it depends on the proficiency of the senses. Now, in the absence of the proficiency of the senses, for example, we may get some illness. Now, I remember one time when I was in India, I got jaundice. And it's known that if someone gets jaundice, then everywhere they see yellow. So I don't actually remember seeing so much yellow, but anyway, it's meant to be there with the disease of jaundice. So they don't see the colors as they are. And even I remember taking sugarcane juice. This is a cure for jaundice, and it tasted so bitter. It tasted so horrible. I couldn't even stand to take it. So this is, I'm not perceiving through my sense of art, my my eyes, my perception. I'm not perceiving correctly through my sense of taste what these things are. If I have jaundice, for example. Okay, madness. What can make someone mad? Well, we see many people who have some mental illnesses. They may have schizophrenia or anything like that, and they may not see people or things as they are. They see it quite differently. So because their mental sensory perception is not quite aligned, we could say. And then if someone takes some hallucinogenic drug like LSD, for example, then they can go completely mad, and they can see all kinds of objects that aren't there, or like that. So in that time, you cannot say that what they're seeing is actually there. Then inattentiveness. Okay, so an example of inattentiveness. Okay, we're sleeping and we just wake up and we look at our alarm clock and we see, oh my God, it's already 8 o'clock and I was supposed to be in work by now. But actually, because we're half asleep, we've seen the clock as 8 o'clock, but it's actually 7 o'clock. So this is an example where we're not seeing perfectly. So our sense perception may be faulty. Okay. Therefore, one cannot gain actual knowledge of an object by means of pratyaksa Pramana. Okay. All right. So let's go to the next slide. Questions and answers. Okay, so Karunamai Didi is going to ask questions about this topic. We can go back just briefly. Krishna Priya Didi.
Okay,
can we go back just briefly?
Oh.
Yeah. So just have a look, not to the 10 types of Pramana, just pratyaksa. The next screen, yeah. So just have a look, what is pratyaksa? And Karunamai Didi will be asking you questions on this topic. Okay?
All right.
Yes.
So the question that we have is, what is pratyaksa? And who would like to answer? Oh, Shamali. Oh, Sham.
Yeah. Can you
Sorry.
unmute?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Krishna.
Pratyaksa is direct perception through the senses that may be flawed from our experience or that sort of thing.
Yes, very good.
Thank you. And that's
Can
all we have.
anyone
for
explain
that
a little
particular
more?
question.
Well, pratyaksa. We use it all the time. I mean, we're constantly taking things into our eyes, our skins, our nose, our cells, our senses, and it's very important information. But sometimes we misperceive. There's a lot of thinking we saw something, thinking we heard something, and there's like they used to take direct evidence of people in court, but then they realized how flawed it is. That we don't actually perceive very much. And there's some beautiful videos where, like there's a gorilla that goes right through the middle of a basketball game, and they ask how many people see it, and no one sees it. It's just because your attention is only focused on a particular object. And it may be flawed, like your elephant analogy. You're looking at the tail and you think it's a rope. You look at the body, you think it's a boat. That sort of thing.
Yeah, that's very good. Very, very good answer. Thank you. Lovely purport there. Thank you so much. Shamli did. Okay. Any more questions on that? No.
Can I make a comment about it?
Yes, please.
I just wanted to share two things that I think were related to this point. One is that I read a Buddha sutra long ago. I think it was called the Sharanganam Sutra, but it talked about the efficacy of our senses. And just for example, it was saying how vision, which we rely on so much, is just inherently imperfect because the limitations were like, we have to blink. So, when we blink, we can't see. We only have an angle of vision, so like on the scale of 1200 being most effective sense, it got like an 800. Whereas hearing, which we know is so important, hearing is considered a perfect sense because we hear like 360 degrees all the time. Like if you're asleep, your hearing can awake you if there's like danger, if you hear something, but like if you're asleep and your eyes are closed, you won't necessarily see danger. I thought that was kind of interesting and related to this. And I also wanted to just add that I loved how Her Grace Shamarani Didi in her memoir, The Art of Spiritual Life, talked about this. I don't know if she didn't call out pratyaksa specifically, but she was saying how we have our vision, but we are always getting revelation. So we could always have like a higher vision or understanding. And so that's another challenge, like, so even, she's writing a quote memoir, but she's like, even our memories, as the Didi who was sharing about, the gorilla, we don't always remember what's actually there. We don't have accuracy. I just thought it was really delightful in her preface as her preface, how she talks about some of this. So just thought it.
Yeah, very, very nice. Thank you so much. Okay, so we can go on to the next slide, please, Krishna Priya Didi. Okay, anuman. So anuman is inference. This means a presumption made after observing a particular phenomenon. So we may see smoke. Many times we've seen smoke. And as soon as we see smoke, we think, yes, there must be fire. But this type of praman evidence is not completely reliable. Why? Because, for example, we may see smoke on a mountain. But there's smoke, but there's no fire. Has anyone ever seen that before? Sure, you may have. And then even if there's fire and the fire brigade comes and pours a load of water on the fire to put it out, then we see smoke afterwards, but there's no fire. There's smoke, but no fire. So we cannot just think that we're seeing smoke, there must be fire. It's not necessarily so. Smoke is possible without fire. So this anumana, this inference, it is not completely reliable because we can't always assume there's something there, which means there must be something else there automatically. It's not always the case. Okay, next slide, please. Arsa. This means the statements of the sages is another type of praman. So there are so many sages, numerous sages, and they all have their own distinct theories. Now, why do they all have their own distinct theories? Because the opinion of one sage is expected to diverge from the opinion of another. That's how the sages become famous. If they all came out with the same theory, then they wouldn't be recognized even, okay, that's already been said. So because they have to come up with different, so many various theories, then we cannot always rely on their theories. So let's go to the next one, please. Upamana. So upamana means analogy or comparison. So upon examining one object, the knowledge that arises about another similar object is called upamana. So this is like comparison. The examples given that you may see salt crystals, and we've seen many times salt crystals. And then let's take alum crystals. Now, alum crystals look exactly like salt crystals. They're both white. They both have very, very similar appearance. So you see alum crystals and you think, oh yes, this is same as salt, but actually it's not. It's quite different. Alum crystals have their own distinct qualities from salt crystals. So you cannot say that, oh, here are alum crystals, they're just exactly like salt. No, that kind of upamana or analogy comparison is not always reliable as evidence. Okay, next slide. Arthapatti. Arthapatti means presumption. So the logical inferred cause of a well-known occurrence that is accepted when no other observable cause is found. So we could say that Kuna Maididi, she is very healthy and strong, isn't she? But we don't see her eating during the day. No, she's not eating during the day at all, but she's quite healthy and strong. So we can only assume that she's not eating during the day, but she must be eating at night. So this is arthapatti, it's a presumption. But this arthapatti praman, it's not completely reliable because, like in this example, Karunamai, that he might be healthy and strong, not because she's eating at night, but because she's attained the mercy of a demigod, a particular demigod. It's possible. Or she's taking some special herbs. There's certain herbs that if you take them, that will maintain your strength, maintain your bodily strength. Even you're not eating, just living on these herbs, but you remain healthy and strong by that. So this presumption, arthapatti, this is not reliable as praman, as evidence. Okay, next slide. Above, this is proof by absence. This means a distant object cannot be perceived by any of the eyes, I should say senses, any of the eyes or ears. Okay. Okay. For example, we cannot see something on the other side of a high wall. Okay, so say I'm in my room and I'm thinking that, oh, Krishna Priya is not here. She was with me here 1 minute ago. She must have gone into the other room. She must be there. Now there's a wall separating the room I'm in to the next room that I'm assuming she's in by her absence from this room. But it's not necessarily so. She may have gone into that room, but gone out of that room again, or who knows where she is. So this proof by absence is not reliable at all as praman, as evidence. Okay, next slide. Sambhav, that means probability or likelihood of something. So it's very easy to understand. We have 100 numbers, and within those numbers, there's definitely going to be a number 1. That's highly likely that amongst 100 numbers, the number 1 will be there. Okay, next. All right. So aicha means traditional accounts. Traditional historic accounts or rumors with an untraceable source, but which can be largely acceptable by society. So we've all heard this saying, hearing through the grapevine. So there's many traditions in many different cultures all over the world. And many people accept so many things, so many histories, so many truths. But are they really an absolute truth? Because my father told me, and his father told him, and his father told him, it must be true. So the examples given of the well, the old well. So someone says, oh, I would like to take water from this well. And I know that my father took water from that well, and his father took water from the very same well, and his father also, my father, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, they all took water from this well, the same well. So if they took, I can take also. This is good, but actually it's not good because that well water has now become very stagnant and very contaminated. So it's not good drinking water, and it may make one very sick. So we cannot always rely on aicha, tradition. Okay, next slide. Chesta, gesturing. Knowledge through direct perception of an object, qualities, or measurements, etc. So for example, I may raise my hand. Here I've got how many fingers raised? 4. So by that gesturing, we can see, yes, you can see it's 4, number 4 there. So this is not always reliable because by certain gesturing, we may misperceive, misunderstand. So definitely we cannot rely on Chesta Praman, this gesturing. Okay, next slide. Okay, finally, Shabda, revealed knowledge. And that is what we discussed before. This Aroha Pant, this, Avaroha Pant, this descending knowledge, Avaroha Pant. descending knowledge. Shruti, the Vedas. Sabda Brahma, transcendental sound vibration. Sabda Pramana, which means the evidence of the shrutis that have been transcendental knowledge that's been passed down through the ages from sage to sage or guru to disciple and so on like that. So let's go back to the 10 types of praman, please, Krishna Priya Didi. Ooh. Okay, so just have a quick look at these 10 types of praman again. And if anyone wants to have a go at seeing if they can remember even one of these, not pratyaksa because that's already been explained, and not shabda, that's already been explained, but say from 2 to 9, anumana, arsa, upamana, arthapatti, abhav, sambhav, aicha, chesta. If anyone wants, even any one of them, if you want to have a go at seeing if you can remember. Okay, you can go off screen. Yes, quickly. Anyone? Yes, Manini Vada. Did he?
I'm pretty sure I can't remember all, but I remembered anumana because of the smoke and fire reference. So something that is that's knowledge based on an observed phenomena or inference from a observed phenomena, I believe.
Very good. Okay. Anyone else want to have a go? Just one more person they can tell any one of those.
Rudra or iPhone.
Abhav,
Unmute.
proved
Yes.
by absence.
Sorry?
Abhav, proved
Yes.
by absence.
That's correct. Yes. Proof by absence. Okay. Let's do one more. One more if anyone can remember any one of them.
iPhone.
Yes. Someone said upamana, analogy or comparison. That's good. Yes, thank you for that. Okay. Someone saying the salt and the alum crystals. Good one. Good example. Okay, so let's go to the next. Oh, iPhone is the hands raised. I don't know who iPhone is.
I think that was before. We couldn't hear them.
Okay, no problem. All righty, so let's go on to the 4 defects. The next. So the conditioned living entity has 4 defects. So Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada used to speak about these 4 defects. What are they? Brahm, illusion, pramad, error, vipralipsa, cheating, and karanapatava, imperfect senses. Okay, so illusion, we're prone to illusion, we're prone to make mistakes, we're prone to cheat, and we certainly have imperfect senses. Now I'll explain a little bit more if we go on to the next slide, please. Okay, Brahm, illusion. So this means a false impression of reality resulting from faulty knowledge gathered through imperfect senses. So the example that Srila Prabhupada, our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada used to give was a mirage. If we're in the desert, very, very hot desert, and we are so thirsty, we're like dying of thirst, then we may look in the distance and think, oh, at last, there's water. Oh, water, water, water. And we become so excited that we have a chance now to quench our thirst. But actually, what are we seeing? We're not seeing a pond of water, we're seeing a mirage. So it's not a reality. So this is an example of illusion. And the biggest illusion is that we have come into this material world and we've taken on a material body, and we look at ourselves in the mirror and we think, this is me. I am this body. And especially if we get any pain in the body, we have any suffering in the body, and we certainly think, I am this body. And people who are conditioned living beings, that means bada jeev, they are conditioned souls. They think, I'm this body, nothing else. They don't believe that they are eternal spirit souls at all. This is the biggest illusion. And they don't even believe in God. So they don't believe that God is the origin, like this. So let's go on to the next slide. Okay, pramad, error. So we draw the wrong conclusions. There's a famous saying, to err is human. So by our material intelligence, we are very limited. Therefore, mistakes are inevitable. So the example is given of a rope. We see a rope and we think, we see what we think is a rope and we think, good, as a rope, I need a rope. But that rope is not a rope, it's a snake. And the example is given, there's one pastime where we see this example. Does anyone know the pastime? Do you remember the pastime of Bivamangala Thakur? Bivamangala Thakur, he was desperately wanting to see his beloved, Chintamani. And he was needing to go on a boat to reach her place. And he saw what he thought was a boat, but it was not a boat. It was a body, a dead body. And he went on this dead body to her place. Then when he got to her place, he thought, oh, he was calling her, but she couldn't hear. And then it was pouring down with rain, thunderstorm like this. She couldn't hear. He saw what he thought was a rope hanging from her balcony. But actually, this was not a rope. It was a snake. But nevertheless, thinking it was a rope, he grabbed hold of that snake and climbed up the wall to her place like this. So he mistakenly thought this snake was a rope. So this is pramad, error. And we make many, many mistakes. Even Srila Prabhupada gives the example of Gandhi. I think someone warned him not to go to a certain meeting. And they said, there's danger there. But he thought, okay, I think I should go anyhow. He went and he got assassinated, killed in that meeting. So he made a mistake. We make many, many, many mistakes all the time, every day. So this is pramad, error. Next slide. Vipralipsa means cheating. So we all have duplicity in our hearts. Therefore, we try to deceive others. Yes, there's so much deception in this world due to duplicity, cheating. What did Srila Prabhupada used to always say? The cheaters and the cheated. Cheaters and the cheated. So this world is full of cheaters and this world is full of cheated people. So many people are trying to cheat others. For example, we may get a phone call and the person says, oh, there's something wrong with your bank account, so can you give me your details and then we can fix the problem. And the person, oh, okay, yeah, sure. And that's it. They get the details and they rob them of all their money. So much cheating is going on. And for example, a child, Srila Prabhupada gives the example, little child says, the mother says, oh, did you take this money? And the child says, no, Mummy, I didn't take, not at all, not at all. And the mother says, oh, I want to see. But the child has his hand behind his back and is not showing that money that is stolen. So like that child, even it could be 5 years, 6 years old child can cheat from such a young age. So like this is cheating. So actually this vipralipsa, this cheating, it's a lack of faith in the will of God and a reliance on one's own limited material intelligence. So many people cheating in this world. This is one of the 4 defects. Next slide. Okay, Karanapatava. Imperfect senses. So we have 5 knowledge acquiring senses: the eyes, the ears, the nose, the tongue, and the skin. And they are all imperfect, defective, as we discussed before, when we discussed about pratyaksa. So we have our sense perception is not always perfect. For example, the eyes can't see without the help of the sunlight. We need artificial light. So at nighttime, when it's dark, if you go for a very dark tunnel, you won't be able to see where you're going. And that could be very dangerous. So we need sunlight, we need a torch, artificial light. Otherwise, we cannot see objects, just even if it's directly in front of us. We could be walking in a dark area and we step on a snake and we get bitten by the snake because we can't see. So we can't see minute or distant objects. We can't see something that's extremely minute, like a very, very small insect or germ or whatever. We can't see even things that are at a distance. And we can't hear things from a very great distance away. So this is Karanapatava, imperfect senses. And I think we got to the end of that. Next slide is questions and answers. Okay, so Krunamaya Didi is going to ask some questions about the 4 defects. And if you can please go back over them. Okay, 4 defects: Brahm, Pramad, Vipralipsa, Karanapatava, illusion, error, cheating, imperfect senses. And then just quickly go Brahm, illusion. Just take note of what that is, everyone. Okay, move on to the next slide. Pramad, error. Please take note of what that is. Okay, next is Vipralipsa, cheating. Please take note of what that is. Presenting an untruth. Okay. Then next, Karanapatava, imperfect senses. Explanation is there. Okay. So let's go to the screen. Okay. Kunamai Didi.
Okay, so the first question is, what is Brahm? Can you explain? And if you raise your hand, oh, Rija?
Brahma is equals to illusion.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And
yes.
Can you give an example? Anyone?
He's muted again.
Oh.
Thinking body to be self.
Yes, that's very good. Yeah, that's one very good example.
Thank you so much. Yes. The next question is, what is pramad? And can you give an example? Would anyone? Oh, Manini?
Well, she's muted.
Oh,
Sorry. Pramad is error or jumping to the wrong conclusion, or mistaking something for to be something else. Like Bivol Mongol is, I think, the example Charu gave when he was trying to get back to Chintamani and thinking that like the body was like a raft or whatever, and the snake was a rope.
That's correct. Yeah.
there's the bell.
Well done.
Thank you. Yes. And the next question is, what is Vipralipsa? And can you give an example, please? Manini.
Vipralipsa is cheating, like having a hidden agenda, or there was the ultimately lack of faith. That's one of the things I took away from this. Lack of faith in God leads us to like a cheating propensity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was thinking that's like a hidden agenda, like something duplicitous, something that's misrepresented, or well, I call it a hidden agenda. Like, there's an overt thing, but there's really a true subvert, like intention to get over or to win or to, I don't know, to do something.
Yeah, like in a competition you just mentioned. So you see nowadays in a sports contest, then some of the contestants, they may take some drug to give them more power, energy, and be able to win the race or whatever it is, and then they get caught or they're expelled. So, good example. Okay.
Thank you. And the last question is, what is Karnapattava? And can you please give a little example? Oh. Rija.
Imperfect senses. And the answer is, without sunlight, we can't see anything. Our eyes become imperfect.
Thank you.
It's great. No one's got any wrong answers in the whole program. It's great. So you're all learning very well. So there's how many senses? 5 knowledge acquiring senses: the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. So, but they can be imperfect and defective. And what's the example I gave? That you cannot see without sunlight or artificial light.
Oh, that's it. I was thinking your example of the elephant too was kind of a good example of that.
Yeah, that could be an example. Okay, so now we're on the last slide. We're doing well for time. So conclusion. So the conclusion is that we can't expect perfect knowledge from an imperfect person or source. Therefore, one needs a guide, Shiguru, and that guru must be perfect. That guru must be realized and pure, completely pure, surrendered to God. So that guru has the key to the Shastra, the scriptures, the Vedas, or the essence of the Vedas, and he can unlock the hidden meanings therein. So I was thinking that in our next part of the course, we could speak about Guru, what we need a guru, different types of guru that there are. How can we understand who is a realized guru? May not be so easy. So many questions and many answers are there. Okay, so I think we can open up for general questions if anyone has any. Please feel free to ask. Now is the time. Just in the last 5-10 minutes, whatever. Okay.
Yes, so we have a number of questions that people have submitted. Let's start with one from Manini Radha. Would you like to ask one of your questions? Oh, you're muted. Sorry, you're muted.
I did have quite a few questions, but just really some clarifications. One question was, one of my first questions was around the Vedas. I know you said Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita are Vedas. Are Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavat and these other scriptures like that, Brahma Samhita, considered Vedas as well?
Well, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, you could say, is definitely the essence of the Vedas also. Of course, you'll find a lot of verses from Srimad Bhagavatam in Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is written by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami about the pastimes and teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Adi Leela, from birth, youth, until he took sannyas at the age of 24 years old and went to Jagannath Puri and went traveling in South India and like that. He stayed in Jagannath Puri for 18 years. So 6 years he went traveling in South India. So many beautiful pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are there. And who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to us? He's our Bhajan Shiksha Guru. So he's like playing that role, you could say. He's tasting the supreme love of Srimati Radhika. And he's distributing. What's he distributing? That Unata Ujjvala Rasam Svabhakti Shriyam, the beauty of that, which means the Manjari Bhav, the service of Srimati Radhika as maidservant. So definitely you could say that is the essence of the Vedas, for sure. Yeah.
And I did have one related, well, sort of a related question. I've always been a little confused about Shruti in particular. So does Harikatha count as Shruti? And if so, is it because that's spoken by a pure devotee? Like, or, like the distinction between Shruti and that error or asra, or that, the not perfect. There's one like the opinions of sages. Sorry, I'm getting my phone's ringing. Like the opinions of sages is like an error, but Shruti is like when we hear the word from a sage, like Sabda Brahma. So I just love a little bit of clarification around that, if possible.
So, so your question is, if I'm understanding, we hear Harikatha. Is that Shruti? Is that basically your question? So it depends who is speaking. So yes, definitely. Like, for example, Sukadev Goswami, he spoke Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. And who is Sukadev Goswami? You know? Who is he? Can't hear you. You've gone on mute.
I was trying to unmute Srimati Radhika's parrot.
Yes, that's right. So he came as Sukadev Goswami, and he's definitely an eternal associate of Radha and Krishna and self-realized soul. So what he spoke as in Srimad Bhagavatam is definitely Shruti. And of course, Parikshit Maharaj was hearing, and he's also an eternal associate, he's realized. So if on that level, yes, this is Shruti. So it has to be a realized soul.
So when we hear from like Srila Prabhupada or Srila Gurudev, you know, that is that also considered Shruti, right? Like if we hear a Srila Prabhupada's purports, for instance, is that?
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can say that.
So we have a question from Mitra Vinda. She's wondering why Srimati Radhika is not mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam.
Okay. Good question. Why Srimati Radhika not mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam? It's a very beautiful question that Gurudev would like to speak on from time to time. And he would always say that actually, the reason why Sukadev Goswami didn't directly mention the name of Srimati Radhika is because if he spoke her name, Radhika, Radha, Radharani, then just remembering her name, form, qualities, and pastimes, he would faint. He would simply faint because he would so much ecstatic emotions would well up in his heart, and he would not be able to control his bhavs, his spiritual emotions, and therefore he would just simply faint. Therefore, he didn't want to speak her name directly because he only had 7 days to speak the Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj, who was cursed to die from the bite of a snake bird. So if it fainted, and it fainted for so many hours or days, then how could the Srimad Bhagavatam be completed? Therefore, he could not speak her name. But actually, her name is there, but it's there in a hidden way. So it's explained, you could say it's even there in every verse. Gurudev used to say that in a hidden way. And there's verses that are a little bit more obvious, like anarajito nunam, radito nunam, Bhagavan Hari Ishvara, Yannovihai Govinda. This verse, when the gopis were searching for Krishna after when they met for Ras Leela and Krishna had disappeared, then they saw some footprints, but they saw 2 sets of footprints. One was belonging to Krishna and one was belonging to Radha. And they said this verse, oh, who are these footprints? They must belong to that gopi who is most beloved of Hari, most dear to Hari, most dear to Krishna, and who's most worshipped by him. So that's the hidden meaning, most worshipped by him. Actually, Radha, Aradhanha, means to worship. So it can mean to worship Krishna, as Srimati Radhika does, by her mind, body, senses, in every way, but also that Krishna who worships Srimati Radhika. Why does he worship her? Because he's completely controlled by her love. He's overwhelmed and controlled in every way by her love. Because why? She has Madanakya Mahabhav, the topmost level of love and devotion. So I can't even remember what the original question was. Oh yeah, Radha's name in Srimad Bhagavatam. So it is there in certain verses like this one. Yeah. Okay.
Very nice. And if we have time for one more question, do the Vedas include knowledge of science that we have today?
Yes, I would say so that there's all kinds of material knowledge in the Vedas, and certainly great scientists have looked towards the Vedas. They've taken knowledge from the Vedas. They may not openly express this, they may not advertise this, but certainly they have. And even you've got like Ayurveda, medical knowledge, you know, that of course leaks into different types of medical practices that we see nowadays, you know, Chinese medicine that's deriving something from Ayurveda and like this, you know. So there's all kinds of material sciences there in the Vedas, so many. And definitely scientists have got some knowledge from there. But nowadays, their knowledge is more gross. Before, in the Vedas, there's so many more subtle knowledge there. But these days, people can't utilize that knowledge so much. They don't either have faith or they don't have the capacity or like this to utilize that knowledge. Okay. Is there anything else that's
we did have one more question. In conclusion, would somebody like to take the opportunity to summarize what the conclusion of everything we heard today is? Maybe a simplified conclusion.
The conclusion is that we desperately need Sri Guru. We need the key to accurately unlock the knowledge that's there and to make sure that we get it in our hearts and not just through these faulty and speculative ways that we've been talking about.
Very nice. Thank you.
Nice. And can you say something, Manini Radha? Can you say something about the Vedas?
About the eternal knowledge, about the inherent, this is the inherent truth that God has passed down for us. I mean, you know, I think of it like it's the operations manual for the whole cosmos or universe. And so we need to get it direct from the source.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of cliff notes out there, but this is like the encyclopedia of it.
So is there any defects, like the 4 defects, are they there in the Vedas?
No, it's pure. It's pure.
Okay, great.
Haribol.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Anyone else like to add anything to what Manini Radha did he said? Conclusion? Okay. All right, so thank you all very, very much. You've been really great participants and listeners, and I would just like to apologize if I've made any mistakes. I tried to go step by step and try to explain as clearly and systematically as I could. Of course, there's so many more things that could be explained. There's purport upon purport upon purport. But obviously, we didn't want to make this too long, and we were trying to get a lot in. But I think, you know, hopefully something was learned, something that maybe you already knew, which maybe went a little more deeper, became more ingrained, or there's something that you didn't hear before and you learned new. But what I would like is that try to remember as much as we went over today, and then when we meet again in 2 weeks, not next Friday, but the Friday after, then if anyone wants to kind of give a little summary about what we explained today, then that would be nice. And then we can go on to our next topic, which will be Guru Tattva. So the truth about Guru, and that's very, very important topic, and it's very expansive. We could talk a lot about that, but we'll try to condense it as much as possible, and like we did today, go step by step and explain very gradually everything. Okay, so thank you very much. I want to thank Krunamai Didi very much for asking the questions. She did a very good job there. And Janardhan Prabhu for ringing the yes bell, the right answer bell, and the was it that funny sound for the no, the wrong answer? But we didn't get any wrong answers, so that was amazing. Very well done, Janardhan Prabhu. Thank you for all your help, with backup and everything. And I can't thank also Krishna Priya Didi enough, because she was really very helpful with putting these slides together, because I am definitely not very technical. It wasn't easy. So thank you. And to Karuna Didi, she also helped with that. So thank you to everyone for coming today and listening, tuning in. And I'm wondering, is Radhika Didi available now? We could end with a little kirtan if she's there. Or anyone else? Her name Nalini Didi. Nalini Didi. Anyone there who can do kirtan? Huh?
Oh, Krishna Priya's got her hands up.
Okay, Krishna Priya Didi. Okay. That would be very nice. We can end. Okay. Anyway, I'll just say Vancha
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare.
What happened? Hey, Radhika Didi. Yes, please. Please. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Guru Deva, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Bol.
Thank you so much, Radhika Didi. Thank you for doing your beautiful kirtan at the beginning and ending with such sweet Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Very, very nice. Thank you. So thank you to you. Thank you to everyone who joined this week. And so happy to see you all. And really look forward to seeing you again next week. There's the Guru Vani Vaishnavi Prachar with Uma Didi and Sarojini Didi, and hopefully we'll have Radhika Didi singing again for that. And the following Friday will be another session of Bhakti Basics. So if anyone wants to unmute and say Haribol, or they can. We can just say Haribol to each other. And okay.
Hello.
Haribol. Okay. Nice to see you all.
Haribol, Dandavat
Haribol.
Pranams.
Haribol, Dandavat Pranam.
Thank
you.
This was really wonderful.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much. So beautiful. Dandavats. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Wonderful class, Mataji. And hopefully next class I earlier, because I joined a little late and I missed so many stuff, but I will join next time earlier because I live in USA and my time is a little difficult. So thank you so much. Thank you for a wonderful class. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you, Didi. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you.
Okay. Haribol, thank you so much.
Really great.
Haribol, Didi.
Haribol.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you. Haribol. Okay, 2 participants have raised hands. I don't know. Is that...
I want to say Manini Radha Dasi got the most points today.
Oh, okay.
I could probably
Well,
use this Sukriti.
I'll have to send you some English chocolate over to America.
Thank you, Charu. Send me some.
We were joking before that what we would do for the winner would be to wave the chocolate. Anyway, we'll just pray for blessings from our dearly beloved Gurudev, our Rupanuka Guru Varga, to shower upon us all. Okay. Hari Bol. Okay. All right. Okay, I think we can close now. Hari Bol, everyone. Nice to see you all. Okay. Hari Bol. Okay.